Spirit Halloween is trying a new store this year called Spirit Christmas, with everything you would see in the normal Halloween store plus more, like animatronics, sweaters, inflatables, and even meeting Santa himself. It's only going to be available in 8 locations this year, with the flagship location opening first, located in Mays Landing, New Jersey. They tried this idea back in the 90s and the early 2000s, but never brought it back until now. If these 8 stores do good, then we could be seeing this store return every year like Halloween. But let's check out the first location and see what Spirit Christmas has to offer. Before you enter the main store, they have 2 photo ops you can do. One where you step into Santa's shoes, and the other is this headless gingerbread man. I guess someone bit it off. Upon entering the store, you are greeted with a huge gingerbread house display, with the sign indicating that this is Gingerbread Lane. Under the sign, you'll come across a gingerbread man, this time with a face. And next to him is a snowman that looked to be made out of ice cream, with this cone hat and chocolate syrup. Both of them aren't animatronic, and I don't believe they're for sale, but I could be wrong. As you move your way down Gingerbread Lane, the first animatronic you encounter is none other than the Grinch. And when you place your foot on the cookie step here pad, he starts dancing around. I never seen him do this in the movie. I guess that's the dance you do after you steal all the kids' Christmas presents. Behind him is this Christmas tree that I thought was just a part of the display, but it's actually for sale. And I guess I'm not the only one who thought that way, because they have 2 price tags. In case you missed it the first time, here's another. Across from the Grinch, they have an animatronic reindeer that I think normally makes noise, but this one didn't, so he just moved his head. This one to me is just okay. I don't see too many people wanting to buy a singular reindeer that just moves its head, so for that, it's my least favorite out of all of them. Sorry, reindeer, be better. Next to that is where you can really see just how big this display is. This reindeer house isn't too crazy, but Frosty the Snowman's home is ginormous. I guess it makes sense. All that money from the movie, he must be rich. And you can even see him looking out the window. All it would take is someone turning the heat on, and he's done. On the other side is probably my favorite animatronic, and that would be the singing Nutcracker. I really like the idea of this one, and he looks pretty good. If I just saw him standing still, I would think it's a real Nutcracker and not an animatronic. So for that, this is definitely my favorite. At the end of the display, you walk up to the North Pole Post Office with the Spirit exclusive swinging snowman animatronic, and he does exactly what you would think. Swings back and forth with a song. But let me tell you, it's not a 15-second song and it's over. This thing went on for what felt like an eternity. It never stopped swinging. But I'll let him do his thing and show you the mailbox next to him. Usually they have letters where you can put it in the mailbox, and a light goes on showing that you've been nice. But they didn't have any letters, so I guess I'm nothing. Around the back is this cardboard cutout of the Spirit Christmas logo. Obviously not scary like Spirit Halloween, but it does its job. As for the animatronics they had available to buy, if you were looking for anything other than the swinging snowman, you might be disappointed. They only had a couple or none of the other animatronics besides the snowman. There were so many boxes for this guy, I almost got tempted to buy one, but I unfortunately didn't. But now let's move on to the next big section of the store, and that would be the inflatables. First up in the front here, you have this snowman. It's a pretty simple inflatable. He just stands there and holds this sign that says Merry Christmas. And then next to him is this giant display where you have Santa sitting in the sleigh with the presents, and then in front of him is his 2 reindeer. And then as you look above, you see they're coming through this gingerbread house, and at the bottom is a little gingerbread man. And then as you make your way over here, you'll see more inflatables, with the first one being this polar bear and penguin stealing cookies out of the cookie jar. Look at him trying to hide, but I caught him in 4K. Yeah, you're not hiding from anyone, buddy. Next to him might be one of my favorites. You have this giant teddy bear, but the coolest part about this inflatable is the material. If you look here, it's all fuzzy. I've never seen material like that used on an inflatable, but it's definitely cool and makes it seem a lot more like a teddy bear. I've never been the biggest fan of inflatables. I usually went more for the animatronics, but when they look like that, I'll give it credit. It's cool. So this one I really like, and then we go to the next one, which reminds me of why I don't get inflatables, because it's just this simple Christmas tree. All it does is just sit here, the lights flash, and that's about it. But if that tree is not enough for you, they actually have a 20-foot version right here, but it's only in the box. I would have loved to see this one on display. Next to the tree is this giant one from A Nightmare Before Christmas. Honestly, I would love to just find a way to cut this open and stand inside it. Now we have another polar bear and penguins inflatable. The polar bear just waves at you, and then these penguins are going fishing. The next one is this, where it says Letters for Santa. You can see this dog has that same fluffy fur as the teddy bear, and then on top of this mailbox is another another dog, but it's not fluffy, so I don't like that one. Up on the top here is kicking Santa legs. Santa got trapped trying to go down the chimney, and now his legs are sticking out. I'm not sure if they're supposed to move, but if they are, it's not working. All the way at the end here, you have a pretty cool one. It's a giant snow globe with a Christmas tree and Santa inside. I wish it actually blew around snow. If you look though, there are lights, so I guess it does have something. Over on this side, you have two inflatables, with the first one being these two snowmen trying to put a star on the top of this tree. And now for the final inflatable, here it is, this giant Rudolph. You can see it stands 10 feet tall and is $180. I mentioned this before in another Spirit video, but I'm actually 10 foot as well. So when I get these shots, I have to crouch down. I didn't make myself 10 foot. I just happened to be it. What can I say? And if you're worried about them being low on stock, don't worry, because they have a bunch here. There's so much, in fact, that some of these aren't even on display. Like this guy, he's called the Shredding Snowman. You also have the animated teeter-totter, but you got some random inflatables like this, Santa Stop Here, the Penguin Trio. Honestly, I don't want to see penguins anymore. I've seen them enough. And this animated Nutcracker. Like I mentioned before, they have this 20-foot tall Christmas tree, but they also have a Santa. They even have an example of that on the side where you can see a house and it's taller. After seeing all the inflatables, it was time to look around the rest of the store where you'll come across costumes, decorations, and even Santa's special chair. I wanted to start in the middle here because they have this cool Christmas light display. They got a polygon reindeer, tree, and a snowman. And then these almost have a mirror inside of it, so it feels like it's going on forever. You can see the lights just go back. Now obviously they have a bunch of wrapping paper because it is a Christmas store after all. They have all the different kinds you could ever want. But speaking of gift wrapping, I want to throw these in here because I found them funny. It's called Joke in a Box, and it's different funny boxes where you can put your real gift inside of it. Now Spirit must love this film, A Nightmare Before Christmas, because then they can have a mix of both. Any product from that movie can be Halloween or Christmas, but at the end they just completely gave up and we just have some creepy stuff. Here's this innocent Santa until you move over here, and he's really creepy. Mrs. Claus is also not left out. Now these type of decorations called blow molds are really a Christmas classic. They've been around for so long and there's so many different variations. Spirit Christmas has some of their own with this snowman. They got the Grinch himself and even his dog. Over by the register, they have these guys that actually move around. Well, not this one, but maybe this guy. This one. There he goes. Wow, that actually sounds really creepy. Back here, they have a bunch of plushes, but most of them are just horror related. They gave up on the whole Christmas thing and went right back to their roots. But these at the end I like, where it's the horror and Christmas mix. You have this evil snowman. This is a reindeer gingerbread skeleton thing. It's all mixed into one. And then this skeleton Santa. Oh, and I almost forgot to point this guy out, but I have no words. That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Over on this wall, you have the stocking stuffers. If a normal toy is too big for a stocking, then you should either get a bigger stocking, which they actually had, or get the smaller version of the toy. They had so many different small toys, plus other random stuff, like this chicken that's supposed to be fried chicken. I have no comment. Now I have to say, as far as the costume section, I didn't know if they would have one, but knowing that this is Spirit, of course they do. You can look through all the different Christmas themed hats, which I have to say look pretty good. Christmas themed shirts, I almost immediately bought this one, but I held myself back. And they even have Christmas costumes, with of course a Santa costume, a Christmas tree outfit for couples, this Grinch inflatable costume, Jack Skellington from A Nightmare Before Christmas, Buddy the Elf, and this one. I have to say I felt very awkward filming that. But as good as all of those might be, the real outfit everyone wants is Christmas sweaters. They have so many different versions, I doubt anyone will be disappointed. But now after all of that, there was still one more area I had to go to, and it was Santa's chair where you can get a photo with him. Now obviously there's one big problem, he's not here. If you take a look at this, here's his schedule. Thursdays and Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, he'll be here. Any other day he's not. On the outside they have this display. It's a penguin at the North Pole with this tree, and then this thing is actually a photo op where you can stand under there and you're one of the toys in the bag. And then obviously right there is where Santa would sit. I overall like this new Christmas store, but we'll see if it comes back next year or if it was a 1 year and done. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I am now selling merch. Click the link in the description to get yours today.